Hi, it's Samuel Larsen here, and let's talk a little bit about empathizing with our users or buyers. So, with this way, you can find out a lot of easy gains and basically dig a little bit deeper to the user experience and understand the buyer journey a little bit better. Now, what this means for you as an e-commerce owner is that you will be better able to position yourself and answer those buyer questions, help them on their journey from landing to your page, to adding to cart, to going to checkout, to finally completing the purchase. So a very important thing, but also and very overlooked thing. So you want to go through this process because it's actually somewhat easy once you get the hang of it, but it can bring you tremendous gains. So that's why everybody should pay at least a little bit of attention to this, and preferably pay attention early before you even make your website. However, it's not too late if you already have a store up and running. You can still do very important fixes to that. So we often focus way too much on hard metrics, and it makes sense actually, since this is something we can measure. It's something that is easy to measure, and we can see how it's changing exactly. However, hard metrics don't really tell us why. They're just numbers, and you have to understand the people behind those numbers to really reach those elite level results. So this is a little bit of a soft skill. You need to have that empathy, and it can be difficult in the beginning. So let's get started, and the tool that we are going to use is the so-called empathy map. So with empathy mapping, we want to gain a little bit of insight into the head of the customer and how they are proceeding, what they're feeling, and so on. But before we can start anything, we need to actually get clear on who is our customer. And you could create multiple ones, but what I prefer to do for the sake of simplicity is to just create one to begin with and get really drilled into that one. So create your customer avatar, and then target that customer and that customer only. So basically create the site, create the product to that specific customer, and then you can expand on it if it doesn't work. So with our customer avatar, we can and we should be extremely specific. So we would start even from naming our customer. So let's say Michelle is 42-year-old, mother of 3. Her children are 11, 7, and 2, and she does yoga. But why does she do yoga? To relieve work stress, and she has a lot of work stress because her boss is like this, and etc., etc., etc. You would go really, really deep, and this way you actually can start talking to them, and can start talking to them in the right moments, in the right way, using their language. So it's extremely important to understand why they buy, but also how they buy. So that's our customer avatar. Please spend at least a significant amount of time to understand this. You should have a long description of this person, because if you don't do this correctly on the step 1, the further steps are not going to work. All right, secondly, imagine that person using your site. Okay, so now that we know their pains, imagine how does your site go with these pains and pleasures. So everybody's trying to gain and not experience pain. So if we have a person who has fears, they have frustrations, they have some kind of obstacles, and we understand those, then we can speak to them in a very efficient manner. So think about this, like if you had to position your store for this particular person, you would probably do it a little bit differently knowing this person. So let's get clear on their fears, frustrations, and potential obstacles. So are they tech savvy? Do they know how to operate websites like a 20-year-old ninja? Or are they a little bit scared of it, like not so comfortable with e-commerce? Let's say they're like a mother in their 50s, for example. So that makes a big difference. All right. Then imagine what would be an ideal result for that person, and what are they hoping to get out of the experience. Ask yourself, what would be a success for this one person. So now they have landed in your page. What are they thinking? What are they feeling in the first moments? Like, how is the very first view affecting them? Because if you are not able to sell them in the first few seconds, it's probable that they will just leave. So you need to be able to quickly capture that attention and make that like little sell for them to look further. All right. So imagine also like what questions do they want answered and when. This goes to their buying objections in e-commerce. So you want to be there and kind of like encourage them to go forward and feel good about it. Also, think about like their preconceived notions. What are their like expectations? What are their friends telling them? What like potential options are there? And how this all is impacting them. And this goes a little bit to your competitive landscape. So if you have a big competitor that you are battling against, like for most people it would be like, for example, Amazon. How could you be better than Amazon? Like, what would be your unique selling proposition compared to Amazon? Now, hint, most people will find it from specializing into a niche, making a personal type of connection, and so forth. So that's your opportunity there. All right. So imagine also like this person like being very emotional. Because often emotions are a little bit like a thing that will drive our behavior, but it's hard to like feel other people's emotions, so to say, because we have we're very used to our own websites, so we cannot really empathize people using it for the very first time, and it's difficult to step into their shoes fully and feel what they do, feel and like think like they do. So that's why like great acting is so difficult to do. For example, it's just a very difficult craft. All right. So I would like end it there. Just like get clear on how they behave. You can then observe it with all kinds of heat maps, recordings, type of things. And you do even like usability testing, but that goes a little bit more like complicated route there. This is the easy thing you can do to gain big results, and with these insights, a lot of people will find things from their stores that actually look quite obvious, like when you think it through. But if you never spend the time to think it, like then there's no chance of you finding it out. But that's it really. If you have a designer or a developer who's like completely overlooking at these things, like please run the other way, because you will just end up with a general site that doesn't really work anymore. All right, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more future videos and also to support the channel. A lot of awesome value coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.